Sometimes one of the best ways to intervene with a challenging student is to talk to them about a situation that has happened in the past in which they have engaged in challenging behavior, and to be able to visually show them how to work through that better another time. So sometimes it's easier to do this if you have some sort of sheet or visuals to work through, because it kind of gives the impression to both you and the student that this is something that has to occur, and that this is something that has parameters, and that this is something that other students are doing as well. So sometimes it's easier to do these in terms of a think sheet. So here are some examples of those. And as you can see, what it has the student do is talk about what happened during the situation, how the student was feeling, what the student did, how that behavior could have made other people feel, if there were any coping strategies that you guys have previously talked about that the student could have used, and then if there's anything that the student needs to do to correct a problem. So you can see this sheet, this is made up of more of word-based, whereas this is kind of the same premise, but it's using all visuals to talk to the student about that. And then sometimes students have behaviors that are in response to something that happened to them, and they over-exaggerate them or they over-respond to something. So something very small could have happened to them, or they could have perceived that it happened to them, and yet they respond with a way bigger behavior than is necessary. And sometimes it's nice to visually plot out the behavior and the response to the students, so that they can see that whatever their perceived problem was or problem doesn't really go along with the type of response that they gave. And sometimes it's easier to do that in terms of a scale like this. So you can talk to the student about what the problem was, or their perceived problem. So it could be something like little Johnny stole Sally's pencil. So you could help them see that's a small problem, yet they flipped their desk over. That's a big response. And those two things don't go together. And sometimes visuals help a student realize that what their problem was did not deserve to be as big of a response as they gave the problem.